Well, the Kansas City Chiefs got their run-it-back plan all but sealed up. They have defended their AFC Championship from last season. Now there's one step, the Super Bowl. They are going there next, and we're going to talk about it right now on RGR Football. Welcome back. I'm Ryan. This is me going rogue, and this is RGR Football. Today's first take is all about the fact that they got it done. They've been talking about it forever, ever since last season, and they got it done. This is a big accomplishment for this organization, and in particular for this roster, which is really similar to last year. So a lot of the players are the same. Now, obviously, they've made a few changes, but for the bulk of this roster, they have gone back-to-back at this point and gotten to the Super Bowl. Obviously, a big game left to come, and we'll get into all the details of it, et cetera, as the days go by here. We are going to get ready. Dan's going to have film. I'm going to have film. We're going to start getting into the Senior Bowl as well, so we'll have coverage for you for the next year's class as well. Pay attention to the Senior Bowl this weekend when there's no NFL action. It is important. That is how you find players that end up getting onto NFL fields and making a big splash. I'll be covering it. I'll have the film, and I'll show you guys what I can show you when I find something. Obviously, with the Chiefs still playing, it's a lot of back and forth, but we're going to get to it. And it starts with Sneed because he is easily the phenom of the season, and that's not to slight Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's played very, very well, a ton of scrimmage yards, obviously had an injury, so did Sneed. Honestly, I think that the injury helped both of them. I mean, no one wants to see them get injured, but by having that break during the season, I think it's allowed them to elongate and make it through this marathon of a season that is drastically different than what they had to do in college. College seasons are so short by comparison to a full Super Bowl run that it's very difficult to make that transition. And having those weeks off, even though there were injuries involved, I think it helps you rest the rest of your body so that you can make it through and push through that rookie wall. It's actually a really good thing. Obviously, Darrell Williams is helping Clyde, whereas L'Jarius has had to play and play a lot and play very well. He's now the third leading pressure producer in terms of sacks on this roster. That's incredible. And credit to what Steve Spagnuolo did against the Buffalo Bills in not only being willing to blitz, but being creative and being good in the timing. I thought the Chiefs did a good job hiding it, disguising who was coming when and not necessarily giving it away. That confused Josh Allen. That's something they're going to have to double down on and get even better at because it's a whole lot harder to confuse Tom Brady. Now, that said, we'll talk plenty about that matchup coming up. I want to focus on this one because L'Jarius got hurt as well. He is in the concussion protocol. As I record this, we haven't gotten any update about any change for his status, so that remains to be seen. But on Monday, we did get some negative news about Eric Fisher, and quite frankly, it's heartbreaking. We have shown, and you've heard me talk about it, not only here on the channel, but all through our season on Locked On Chiefs, about just how underrated or under the radar he is as a left tackle, and how his presence or lack thereof, particularly last season, really makes a difference about how well this team plays. His absence is going to be critical. We'll talk about how they fix that coming up here in a bit, but the news is it is official. It is a blown Achilles tendon. That is a 9-month recovery at the bare minimum. At his age, there are guys who will end their careers on this type of injury. I don't expect that for Eric Fisher because he is a very good athlete for his position, for his size. Mike DeVito had a similar injury, and I think he was able to get back and play some. I know he didn't last a lot too farther after that. Same thing with Derek Johnson, had an Achilles, was able to come back. We all know what happened with Eric Berry. So this particular injury has been one that's been around this team for a number of years. I think Eric Fisher will return eventually. I just don't see him starting the season. They have some things that they have to do in order to address that. Lucas Niang was drafted last year to be something in there between backing up Schwartz, backing up Fish. One of the two, I think he still has that potential, but You can't penalize him for the opt-out, but it does cause some questions because we haven't seen him obviously on the field. We haven't seen him train either. We don't know what kind of shape he's in, if he's continuing to develop physically. Hopefully he has been doing that. Hopefully he comes in to what should be, I won't say normal, but more normal offseason this year with OTAs and those kind of things. I do expect them to get some of those things done. They've made it through an entire season. They might as well be able to do that. Now, the travel back and forth, that changes some of that, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, he's continued to develop, and he's somebody they can look at in the future. Obviously, they have Wiley now, and it looks like, among all expectations as we hear it right now today, my opinion is we will see the starting lineup in the Super Bowl be the lineup we saw at the end of the AFC Championship game with Wiley at right and Remmers at left. And those are going to be the tackles. They'll have backups. My guess is it's going to be Durant. We'll see. There's always Rankin out there, and everybody likes to remind me of Rankin. Now, Rankin's still coming off of an injury, and he's played one game, the bulk of one game. I don't know that you, unless you get a really good feel in practice, that you kind of let him take one of those starting spots. We'll see. We will find out when we find out, but I don't see that happening right now. Maybe after we get the first couple of practices in for this shortened week and then clearly in the Super Bowl week, we'll know more. The travel for the Super Bowl is cut dramatically short. A lot of the events are not going to happen. There's not going to be the media aspect. As far as I know, they can go in 2 days before the Super Bowl at the earliest. So that is actually a great thing when trying to replace a starter. Now the only starter left on that line is Austin Ryder, and we all know how we've discussed the back and forth about his play and what it should or shouldn't be. But that gives you that extra time and that, honestly, the lack of distraction to allow you to get that lineup ready. We'll hope that that pays off. We're going to see more about it. That said, Patrick Mahomes looks like he's pretty healthy. I don't feel like he ran his normal gait, his normal cadence. That foot is, injured in a way against the Bills, but he did enough to make me think that he can make it through the Super Bowl and still be proactive with his legs. Another week of rest might even make that better. We don't know. When we do, that'll give us a better inkling about how they go about adapting the game plan to really change from what they did the first meeting, which really wasn't that long ago. It was the 12th contest. So while it is in the rearview mirror, it's not that far away. So you can take a lot from that. I don't expect the game plan for the Tampa Bay Bucs to be anything like it was. I think Todd Bowles will learn his lesson, but we'll see what that changes to. But Patrick may be able to use his legs in this new game plan effectively as well. We'll see how that injury calms, and that's really where we're at with the injuries. I don't think that there's anything else that's really standing out. I was really happy to see Fenton be able to play without Sneed on the field. Obviously, Bashad had a heck of a game coming back in his first action after the concussion. And we won't know the prognosis for LJ until we get the update. And when we do, I'll make sure to let everybody know. We will cover it here on the channel ad nauseum because he is just that good. It is that important. So keep an eye out here. We're going to have film tomorrow. We'll have film the next day. We'll go into not a game plan, but we have something coming. And I'm working on a couple of new things. One that's going to be a lot of fun, that's going to require a little time to watch. It's going to be a longer format. And an interesting one at that. So keep it here. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and the sub and the bell notification now so you don't miss any of that. And then we'll pepper you guys with a little bit of information about the incoming class as well. So all that said, thanks for checking out RGR if you're new. And if you're one of the regulars, as always, much appreciated. We'll have a members live stream on Tuesday night. So keep that in mind as well. Thanks for watching this one. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.